Hello. Welcome. How's everybody? We are now live. Okay, so I love, like I have this new little overlay here, so I'm loving this. So hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Taylor Thompson. So happy to be here. We are live here on the Millionaire Training Book Club. So I'm going to remove this because it's kind of on my head. Don't necessarily like that, but all right. As you're coming on, please say hello. Please say hi. We'd love to say, if this is your first time on, we want to welcome you on. So please drop a 1 and let us know that. And if you guys are coming on, drop your flags. Let me know where you're coming in from, because we have people from all over the world that drop in for our book club that we do every Friday. So hello, Mary. Hello. Glad to have you here. So happy to have one of our, I'll call her an OG for sure. Then we have Jill. Hello. And the guys, I just wanted to let you know, if this is one of your first times on, if you haven't given StreamYard, which is a platform that we use, because we go across many different groups and many different places here on the Facebook world. And so if you haven't given them permission, I see you're from Spain, but I don't know who it is. So when you give them, you click that link and it allows for me to see who's saying hi. So we got somebody from Canada for sure. So make sure that you go up there and click that link. We got the Irish in the house for sure. I think we got lots of new people here because I'm seeing Toronto. There we go. I think that's the British flag. I do believe. I'm sorry. I'm not really great. Ola from Spain. Hello. Welcome. We got the Brits in the house. We got the Irish in the house. Yes. Mary Rose is a rock star. Yes, she is. Thank you for agreeing with me on that. So as you see, I don't have my partner in crime here with me today. So I know he'll be missed. I know you guys give lots of shout out and love to Mr. Larry Thompson. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to be here to have this book club, because as you know, it is him that really the reason that brings us all together here every Friday. So we got somebody, Ohio. Welcome, Ohio. So guys, there's a link right up above. If you are on your phone, or I don't know if you're on a laptop, but there's a link and it says StreamYard, and there's a little link that you can click and it allows us to see your name. So, and we have, hello, Stephanie. Hello, Paula. Ireland's in the house for sure. Hello, and Nellie. Hello, Sheena. Welcome. And we have Nud from the Netherlands. Welcome. So glad you're here. Yes. And here's another one. Okay, maybe refresh. Maybe the next time. I want to make sure that I get to know who is trying to desperately say hi. Awesome. Okay, Linda. Hello from Dublin. Glad you're here. And we have Jill from Spain. Guys, so we're so happy to be here today. So I say we, I'm used to saying we. My name is Taylor Thompson. Larry and I, we have our LT Wealth Building Academy, and we go live every Friday. We have our clubbing with Larry and Taylor. And what we do is we just talk about this amazing book. And so many of you are popping on. You have some sort of experience, you've been involved, or maybe this is your first time on, I don't know. You've been invited to take a look at an opportunity, a business opportunity that you can make money working from home around your family, around your lifestyle. And this is what we're really talking about. We believe this is the gig revolution with leverage. I'm going to add that in. So I'd like to talk about concepts from the book because, whenever I go back to my story and I think about my story 28 years ago, whenever I started in this space, whenever I was just wanting mom care versus daycare, whenever I was looking for a way just to make an extra $800. And so for some of you who don't know my story, I tried so many crazy things, answering ads in the newspaper. And I know some of you don't even know what a newspaper is. Hey, I'm seeing David. Congratulations, David. I definitely want to have you back on the show and talk about all your amazing feats that you had at the Olympics. But I want to talk about this because this was not in a book form whenever I started. It was in audio cassettes. Now, some of you may not even know what an audio cassette is, but whenever I got my distributor pack, and it was supposed to be what they called a business in a box, right? And it had the products in there that I was supposed to start on, which I'm so thankful for the amazing products that I had. And it had all the tools, all the everything, and it had the set of Millionaire training tapes. Now, guys, I didn't know what personal development was. I was born and raised in West Texas. I was a West Texas girl. I was the girl from the other side of the tracks. I lived in a trailer park most of my life. But I did graduated college, and so, but I still didn't really understand what is personal growth. I mean, they kept saying that. I remember whenever I started in my business, they kept saying, work harder on yourself than you do your business, and the business will come. That was such a foreign concept to me. And then I started listening to these tapes, and I just remember, like, wow, I mean, it was so, I just remember so many aha moments, and I kept thinking, like, how did I get through college? How did I get through college and not learn some of these principles that I learned inside this book, and so, or inside the audio tapes? And so these audio tapes, we just saw it. I mean, the audio tapes is 40 years old. This training is 40 years old this year. And what we did was we transcribed it, we put it in the book, and we celebrate this book, and we celebrate concepts because, I call it, without sounding sacrilegious, I like to call it the Bible for network marketing. And one of the things that in this book, and please, because I love my Bible, I love scripture, but I think this, if you are going to be in business for yourself, you definitely cannot afford not to have this book. Because, and whenever you go to the millionairetraining.com, I'm going to put the link up there for you to go see that. If you don't have the book, and you haven't had a chance to get the book, go over there and at least download the chapter. There's a free chapter over there that you can get, how to employ yourself. Every entrepreneur needs to know how to employ themselves. So I'm going to put my glasses on here, because one of the things that stood out for me, because I think it's so relevant in every space, and no matter who you are, what habit that most people have, even the most honest of people. And I'm going to read this out of the book. It says, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of habits here that you will get in trouble. You will get in trouble being in business for yourself. And one of them is lying to yourself. Even the most honest people in the world have a tendency to lie to themselves. You will tell yourself a lie. Don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. This is very easy to do whenever you get into business. You will find yourself doing well. Then the next thing you do, then you will find yourself going full time. You'll get out there full time and you'll do great for a couple of months, and then you start going downhill. It takes about 2 months after being full time for it to start catching up with you. I'll tell you what happens. You only have so much time when you're working part time, and you make it work. And you've got your momentum going and it's working for you, and you say, okay, my income is up. I feel stable with this thing. And then your decision to go full time is accurate. And then the momentum keeps carrying you for another month or two. And what happens in your business today is not a result of what you do today. It's a result of what you did yesterday. Now, Larry and I talk about this. We talk about inside your business. What you do today doesn't show up today. It shows up tomorrow. What you do this week doesn't show up till next week. What you do this month doesn't show up till next month. Right. And so many times people have made that mistake, getting started in the business, because whenever you think about time, we all, there's nobody that has any 25 hours, 26 hours. Everybody only has 24 hours. And we can only delegate it and allocate so much time to our business. And what that phrase means to me is that, whenever you start out in this gig world and you're doing this around your family, and you're doing this around maybe a full-time job, it's easier to stay focused. It's easier to make sure that you are intentional with your time, because you only have small windows of time to do your business. And what happens with so many people is they jump out here and they get their checkup, and they've they've filled their pipeline and they've done this on a part-time basis and they get their income up and then they decided to go quit their job. Well, a lot of people do that. And, some people do very well with that. And if that's you, congratulations to you. But if you're one of those people that, maybe you're in that question mode, should I do this full time? Maybe I'm doing this, should I stick with it, doing it part time? This is the biggest question that you need to ask yourself. How am I really truly employing myself? Am I really doing my job description every day? And those are the questions that you can ask yourself, whether you're considering transitioning, or you've been doing this in your business full time right now. It's so easy. It's so easy to justify what you do. It's so easy to say, yeah, I'm doing my business, I'm going to get in this clubhouse, or, I'm going to go learn how to do this TikTok, or I'm going to, I've got to schedule my post, and I've got to get, I call it getting ready to get ready. Right. And you find yourself, you're busy, you're doing busy stuff, but you're really not doing the things that it takes to build and grow your business, which Larry and I always say, it is always about getting new customers on your product and getting new team members on your team, right? Would you guys agree with that? So I just wanted to take a few minutes here and bring a couple of guests up here. The first one I want to bring up now, she's been hanging around, and we keep missing her to come inside the book club and share her story. I think she connects with so many different women, especially. And so I'm super excited to have her on. I'm going to welcome her up here to the stage. Miss Teresa Coles, how are you?
Hi, Taylor. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Oh, thank you so much for asking me to come on. Finally made it on.
Well, great. Well, it's so nice to have you here. We keep missing each other, and but I'm so glad that you're here, because you've been involved, you've been around. But tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do, and how you got involved.
I'm from the UK. So let me take you back to just before I found this opportunity. I found the company that I'm with. I was working part-time for the council, and I've become a single parent. So my daughter was 4 at the time, and I needed to build a home again. So that 3 days wasn't going to support me, so I was looking for another income. But so I found myself working away the other days, that I had, just to make up that income. And I was very tired, missing my daughter, and but I was working away on a fashion event, and I met a lady who introduced me to the products, and I was a bit like, not quite sure. But my energy was low at the time, and I tried a few of the products, and I felt amazing. She told me a little bit about the business, and I'd worked with her 3 months before. And within that time, she'd lost a little bit of weight, but she said she started earning an income. And immediately because I'm not very academic, I put the barriers up, and I just thought, I can't do a business. Always kind of like traded hours for money, worked a couple of jobs, working class. That's my background, my family. But I tried the products, and I fell in love with the products, and I became a member, and I started sharing my results with people, and I got excited, and I started going to the meetings, and the energy of the company I absolutely fell in love with. And then I got to a certain level in the marketing plan, and I was bringing in a few people. And this was my daughter's 14 now, so it was a good 9 years ago. And I was looking at different shiny objects, and I pretty much became a retailer. I am a bit of a Mother Teresa. I became a manager. I was helping, the team that I brought in, but I was ticking over nicely, but I kept comparing myself as well. That lady's got 6 children. I've only got 1. Why am I not getting up the marketing plan? So jumping ahead, the opportunity came for me to take redundancy at the council. So at the time, I was trying to study to be a fitness. My passion has always been fitness from the age of 16. but my parents didn't direct me to college or anything, so I went to work. But I got the courage and I became a fitness instructor. Started doing that part-time, and then I took redundancy from work, as you just mentioned. I got excited and I thought, right, I'm going to do this. But I didn't employ myself. I was going to the gym a bit more. Yes, I was spending more time with my daughter, but I didn't employ myself. And I was just ticking over nicely. And then I got too excited, because I'd become a fitness instructor and I wanted to do it at the age of 16, and I was 46 when I did it.
Wow.
So procrastination in abundance. But I didn't believe in myself because of the exams and stuff. And anyway, I started working hours and hours in the fitness world, and I was becoming very tired again. And then came, and then I lost the fitness income. So we got together online with them, and I kind of like started to increase my income, but I was still managing, chasing team and this, that, and the other. And then the end of November 2020, I thought, and I saw another shiny object, and I paid around $300, I think it was, to do a network marketing thing, which was in Vegas. So I stayed up all night trying to think. Needed to do social media. I needed to do TikTok. I do a little bit on social media, but it frustrates the hell out of me, if I'm honest. It has its good points, but it's not me. I'm a people person, and I can talk to people, So, but for me, I was bringing people, but I wasn't sort of bringing them up. But anyway, I got introduced to. I thought I saw the Millionaire training book around with a few of the members on. I just thought, oh, okay, and I just thought, oh, something else. But then the lovely Gemma Devine said it was working for her, and then there was in an academy, and then the book club. So I pretty much joined. I ordered the book, and trust me, I've notes and notes of things that I've been to other meetings and stuff. So off this event, I've got another notepad full of it. I thought, let me just have a look. And then I listened to I think my book came the day after I listened to the first book club. And I just thought, another book to read. But anyway, do you know, when I opened it up, I thought, big writing, wow. And I just thought, this looks quite easy. So I started to read that, because my concentration, I struggle with it when I'm reading a book. It doesn't go in.
Yeah.
So I found the book really easy. Then I started listening to the book club, and I was a bit like, oh, not quite sure. And then I just thought, sod it, academy, because I could see people were really, really like energized about it. And of course, I just found it really easy. Then the first deep, and I started to pick up on the audience, the language, and the transition from me being a manager was not easy. I had to keep my mouth shut, and then I think, oh, I was picking up the phone immediately to answer when the team would. So I joined in January this year. I'm a bit of a slow burner, but I've listened to all the deep dives and they're absolutely fantastic. But the key thing for me is now let me tell you about my typical day now. I'm eating the crust. I started in September. I got some flyers, and for me, that's a person that can talk to people. I'm an extrovert. I teach fitness, and I can talk to people. But it's the business side, the recruiting, that I found difficult. And again, it was not believing it. Now I know I'm enough. I'm going out, giving out flyers, and it was, I messaged Taylor, and it was quite emotional to start with, even though I can talk to people. But I thought, you've got to do this, because I don't want to. My dad has just retired at the age of 75, still working, and I want to say to him and my mum, I've become now, whether I'm still in the 80%, and my aim is to get to the 50%. But what I'm doing is, with the 10 pennies, I started to think, right, I've got to speak to 10 people a day. And if I didn't, I was beating myself up. But I'm not doing that now. So my typical day is I am an early up, maybe I teach yoga. And a couple of us started doing the 15 minutes in the morning, just reading a chapter. And it's really working. And we have a little bit of a chat, and then I go off, I do the school run. And then I go and teach a few classes now. Since the gym's opened again, I have been building relationships. But I thought I was still holding back from the opportunity, but now the more I do it, I go out every single day. So as long as I speak to somebody every single day, now some days I can give out 20, 30 flyers. Some days I might only give out 5, but I'm getting people to raise their hands. And don't get me wrong, when I have to ring them, I get a little bit nervous, and I get a bit tongue-tied, but it's getting better the more I do it. And I'm enjoying it, but I've got the excitement back, like when I first joined the business, and knowing that I've got my products, I love the products, and I just do it every single day now. And I've got the audios, I listen to that. So
This
yeah,
is
I'm eating the crust.
this is I mean, like, well done. What, and the chat's blowing up over here, Teresa, because you represent such a large segment of what our space truly is, right? And people come in and they fall in love with the products, which is great. And then they start building some team, and then they go into that management mode, right? Because that's easier to do. And so I love this transition, and you just by your everybody's like, oh my gosh, everybody's like so excited. So whenever this transition for you, I can see the growth. I can see how you've changed, and how you've evolved, how you've been really intentional with your time, because because always, I always say, belief determines behavior. And the growth that I see, because you are doing the activity, you are doing, and here's the thing, even if it's in small bite-sized chunks, look, if just doing it a little bit at a time, look how far you've come just in the last 6 months. I mean, and for those of you who are new and maybe don't know what Eat the Crust is, stay tuned, but I will tell you, it's doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do or don't like to do, and getting it done, getting through the day, and being intentional about that. And here's the thing, this is the one thing, Teresa, that I think applying to this particular segment, where most people do lie to themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
They lie to themselves and they kid themselves. One of the two ways, they were like, I'm doing my business. I'm doing my business. And so, because you said something that I think is so important for people to acknowledge, is because they compare themselves, and they compare themselves, well, what's wrong with me? And that's such a dangerous thing, because they're like, why is she growing so fast? She has six kids and I only have one. But you don't know, right? You're looking at the outside set of circumstances, but you're not looking at the daily method of operation, what they're doing daily. And so to me, this is the biggest lie that every distributor tells themselves, is lying to themselves about talking to people. And so I just appreciate this conversation. You've grown so much. Tell me, what's like if you were to share like words of wisdom, what would be the one takeaway that you would share with the community here?
Hide away, just go out there and step outside your comfort zone, because the more you do it, the more the words will flow and you'll know your audience. I have verbal diarrhea, I'll put it bluntly. I've done that many and many a time, but now I'm learning, because it was, and then the people, you could see the look on the faces. So just try to know your audience. If you're new to it, you read. If you haven't got the book, read the book. You'll know who your audience are, and let them speak. You know, and just believe in yourself. You know, and I'm not even relying on the flyers now, because last week I thought my flyers are running out. I need some more. But after the deep dive on Wednesday, I couldn't listen to the end because I'm listening to the deep dives, and I'm doing the dinner, and I'm doing this, and I'm on the way to teach a class. Do you know what I mean? But I got out the car and I spoke to 4 people straight away without the flyer, and I was like, oh, it listened to the deep dive, and I just thought, yes, come on, girl.
I love it. I love it.
I don't know if it's for you, but you know, I'm looking for people to maybe want to get healthy and maybe earn an income. And I'm just not relying on the flyers now. Oh, and I did have I invited to some of the people that I invited them to. Sorry, waffling on a bit here. I did a bit of an invitation to a little sample party, if you like, and I did the opportunity there. And I've got a new member who's going to listen to. She just flew off to Dubai, but she's 16 years, and her mum came with her, and so you know, who knows, that could many
Love
good.
it. Love it. Well, Teresa, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing with the community. I love it. I love it.
Thank
And
you.
congratulations. So awesome. Awesome. Okay. So now we've got to represent the other side, the male side of what's happening here in the space. So Mr. David Forbes, how are you?
I'm great, thank you, Taylor, and yeah, really happy to be invited to come on. And wow, that was amazing from Teresa.
Yes.
Really enjoyed her story, and I'm really at the other end, not just because I'm male, but because I'm a lot older, and I've been in the business in our space really for 20 years now. So yeah, but that's a two-edged sword.
Well, introduce yourself and tell the community a little bit about you.
Okay, so well, my name's David Forbes. I live with my partner Tracy. We work our network marketing business together. We live in Scotland, in a beautiful part of the country, and yeah, we're blessed really. And it all started, for me anyway, when I was heading for redundancy. It was inevitable. I knew it was coming, and I just remember being invited on 2 separate occasions to come and look at a business opportunity. And I happened to be in the pub at the time, and the guy who invited me was a butcher. And he said, Dave, you know, you're in business. Why don't you come along, take a look at another business opportunity? I knew I was heading for oblivion, but because the other guys, and as soon as he left, the other guys in the pub came over to me and said, don't go. It's all American. It's all happy clappy. It's, you know, and so
Happy clappy.
yeah. So yeah, looking back, and I thought, well, maybe I won't go. And that happened twice. So anyway, and then reality hit, and got a phone call from a friend of ours who lived a little way away, and she said, look, guys, I've got something here that might just help you out. And that was a great invitation, because she didn't tell us what it was. She didn't make any assumptions, other than I kind of told her that we were in difficult financial circumstances. Okay. I mean, I personally needed about 40 grand just to qualify for being broke. So wow. Yeah, it was a really difficult situation. And of course, everything that went with it. So my personal confidence was really, really at a low point. Anyway, went to see my sponsor, and she showed me the products. She showed me the circles and squares like we used to. And I was really amazed. Okay. And I thought, wow, that is an incredible thing to be able to do, and signed up straight away. And yeah, and then in those days you get a box with a lot of product in, cost quite a lot of money, but hey, the guy who ran my credit card didn't know I was broke. So anyway, I just loaded it up a little bit more, and I said to my sponsor Carrie, I said, look, this is fantastic. I'll be able to sell these products and make some money. And she said, no, 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 you've got to eat those products first. And I said, well, look, in case you didn't get me, you know, I didn't join here to take products. I joined to make some money. Yeah. So I wasn't joining the dots at all. And it was only, funnily enough, as I was leaving with my box of hope, that I happened to look into her driveway, and I had a very rusty old Toyota, and she had a brand new 4-wheel drive Merc. And I said to myself as I left, you know, why don't you just listen for once in your life? And which I happily did. Okay. So got on the products, started to lose weight, felt a hell of a lot better. 3 days, my energy was through the roof. And on my 3rd or 4th day, I went to visit a friend, hadn't seen him for a while. And when I went into his kitchen, his wife was sat there with a friend. And as soon as I walked in, Jill, his wife, said, Dave, are you losing weight? And this is like 3 days in. And I thought, wow. I said, well, I might be. And she said, so you're looking great. And I said, well, I'm feeling great. I've got a lot of energy. And she said, so what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm taking this stuff.
Yeah.
And I told her the name of the company, and she said, well, no, I never heard of that. And I said, well, that's okay. And she said, look, do you think it would work for me? And I said, well, Jill, there's no reason why not. I can get you some if you like. And she said, yeah, I'll take it. She never asked the price. And I said, Jill, that is fantastic. You'll be my first customer. And then her friend, who was sat at the table, who was listening in, she said, can I be your second customer? So I walked out of there feeling like King Kong, obviously, and thought, wow, that is so simple, right?
Yes.
And as you've said yourself, Taylor, it's like ignorance on fire. Yeah. And we, Tracy, she got a great result too, started talking to people. We made just over £400 in our first month, which, was amazing considering I only, when Carrie said, look, how about 500 quid? And I said, that would be fantastic. And then 450 or whatever, right? And then, so that was it. And then started talking to people about the opportunity because we were making money. So we had 2 stories to tell. We had the product story and we had the income story. Even though it wasn't a hell of a lot of money, it was like part-time. It was easy. And so, we started to bring people in on the business, and it grew from there, and it's been amazing. One of the early purchases that I was encouraged to buy was Larry's 3-set tapes of the Millionaire training.
Wow.
Which I played so often in the car, Taylor, that it was starting to play the other side of the tape by the time I'd finished, Wow. So I listened and listened and listened to that, and that had a big impact on my thinking. And we built quite a substantial business in a reasonable space of time. And then as it happens with most people, we started earning quite a lot of money, and that seemed really nice. So we kicked back, and and also the other thing that where the academy and the whole setup with the 3-legged stool has really helped me, having been in the business for so long, is it's like a renewal. It's like, as Larry or yourself, I can't remember who gave this kind of picture of having to unload stuff out of your backpack. Yeah. Because 20 years in, we've collected some weight of stuff there.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, and the book taught me a lot. I love your subject about don't lie to yourself, because we used to lie a lot. At least I did. About, I would find things to do, get all my ducks in a row, and find all sorts of other things to do rather than eat the crust. So, so that's all come back. And it's been amazing. I think so much renewal for me. It's like a retransformation, and especially I got to say, being aligned with the gig economy as we are now understanding. I mean, I knew nothing about that before.
Yeah.
You know, so
And so you know, you said one of the things that I love this story because you know, from somebody like, because things have changed obviously drastically in 20 years, and you've seen things change and evolve, you know, and you've been with the same company. Congratulations for that and the success that you've had. You know, and adopting these, you know, these concepts inside of your business. So one of the things that really stuck out to me, and because we've talked about this inside of the academy, is the swinging the pendulum from, you know, only being so product focused and forgetting about what our biggest commodity is. And you just talked about it, this gig economy. And if you think about it, I love it because even you 20 years ago, you were looking, you would have, I mean, you fast forward, that could have been you right now.
yeah.
That could have been you right now looking for extra money, buying the box, right? You know, wanting to sell the product in the box, not connecting why do I need to take this? I need to make money, which is the mindset I would think of most people that were trying to make money. I know that was my mindset 28 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so I would like for you to address this as to how, you know, putting these pieces together, how you're doing your business now with these simple concepts.
Okay, well, I mean, a lot of it has been, as I've said, you know, throwing out a lot of the stuff that was just, you know, the various ways of doing business that we've been through. We've been through pretty much everything. You know, we used to stand on street corners handing out. I mean, we would do 2,000 flyers in the lunch hour on a busy street corner, you know, and that's how we started.
Yep.
And now things have changed, as you say. So what?
Let me stop you just a minute.
Sure.
Do you think, because you had that experience, do you believe that standing on the street corners handing out 2,000 flyers would work today?
Sure.
Of
course it would. Absolutely. Yeah.
The problem is that most people don't have the courage to do it.
No, well, one of the things about, you know, I remember listening on the tapes that Larry recorded that time, and he said, you know, what you do today doesn't really, as his words were, parlay into, you know, maybe the next month or the month after. And it was absolutely true. And the interesting thing is that as soon as we experienced that, we thought, wow, Larry was telling the truth. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so it encouraged us then to continue and, you know, and build that momentum. And yeah, and we've lost the momentum in great part. One, during the lockdown, we were running nutrition clubs at the time, and we had to close that down because the laws in Scotland here were slightly different. And yeah, so we've had to readjust very quickly. And thank goodness that you guys came along when you did. I joined in January, just as we were sort of beginning to see the end, perhaps. And it's been invaluable. And I would say everything I'm learning is just what I'm not saying I already knew it, but I'd already heard it. Okay. But then to have it reinforced,
yes,
got me thinking, yeah, absolutely. Just stick to those simple basics. I suppose the biggest one that is really reflected in the way that I now work with our team and try and encourage them to be the same is to not be lifting other people's weights for them.
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
yes. Because you have a pretty large team, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not as large as it used to be, but yeah, it's giving us a very good living. And you know, but even at my age, in my late 70s, right, I'm ambitious to do more because of the space that we're in and the new recognition that the gig economy is giving us permission again,
Yes.
to talk money, to talk helping people dig themselves out of a hole, like we were offered the chance to dig ourselves out of a hole. My sponsor said to me, I'm going to dangle a rope down this hole you've dug for yourself, David. All right. But it isn't an escalator. It's a rope.
Yes.
And you got to pull yourself out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
Lift the weights.
It's such a great conversation, because I think that what you just said, because of your experience that you had 20 years ago, you're probably really in a better position, being more on the forefront of what we're talking about than somebody that's just came in even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because they don't have that experience, that lens that you've already seen through with experience, and saying, oh, those things still work today. I think you're at a greater advantage, to be honest with you.
That's good to hear. But again, that at the same time, we do have a lot of daily method of operations that we've used, okay, and to one degree or another, and we now realize that it's really about personal development, and the academy has helped. So with that, we've got a few guys on it, and yeah, and we're going to encourage everybody to go down that route as they come in now. Okay.
Yeah.
Very excited about what's going on now with the recruiter and stuff. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Dave, I just thank you so much, because I had a last minute cancellation, and I was like, man, if I can get David to come on, and you were such a hero to come in at the last minute. And it's been such a great value that you brought here inside the community, and just appreciate your wisdom for sure.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I thought I was first choice, but there we go. I don't mind being second.
Well, next week you would have been my first choice for sure. But it was just the conversation that was so valuable that we had inside the group this last week, and I was like, this is paramount, and people need to hear this conversation. And so anyway, so we've got Mark over here. He's excited. He's got Tom. I get to do leaflets. There you go. I love it. We're bringing the old fashioned, the old school back to new school. I love it. At the end of the day, it's just about people, talking to people, no matter how you're going to do it, right? And so Dave, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your contribution here. So guys, I know that it's not the same without Larry. I know that you guys had to have me here. I hope that if this was your first time on, or if you're listening in, I hope that you got some value out of today. And, more than anything, I hope that you have got some value from hearing Teresa. Maybe you connected with Teresa. Maybe you heard some things with what Dave had to share. So, and if you're new in the community, we want to hear your story. Reach out to me. We would love to have you share your story inside of our book club, and to be able to make contributions to other people in the community to hear what's going on with you and our ABC approach. How is it impacting you? How is the academy? How is the book? How is the club impacting you and your business? And we want to know, we want to hear, and we want to celebrate with you. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you have a blessed, amazing weekend. And my name is Taylor Thompson, and I'm going to speak for Larry. We're here to help you grow you, so you can grow your team, so you can grow your check, so you can grow your company. That's it for me, guys. Have a great weekend. Adios. Bye-bye.